Hi, I'm Matt Kapp, the lead artist on Binding of Isaac Rebirth and the creator of Castle in Darkness, and I listen to the One Up podcast.
Hello, welcome to One Up Gaming, episode 391, I think this is. Yeah, 391. This is going to be the... I'm trying to do the hands. This is going to... I'm just an idiot. This is going to be the X-Men special. So if you... I don't know what I'm doing with hands. If you like X-Men, if you like the X-Men games, if you are interested in the X-Men cartoon series, like maybe the X-Men 97 that's out this week, then stick around. Oh god, I've got hiccups now. Go. Because we have got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. Got 12 X-Men focused games that we're going to be talking about this week. We're also going to be doing the X-Men 97 cartoon series, animated series, whatever we're going to call it, in our 10 minutes of nothing. So, as always, please, we are sponsored. That's the words I'm looking for. We are sponsored by Games Inspired Music, and with that, you can get download it, buy it, stream it, anything you want, and we'll donate 20% of each sale to the Child's Play charity. You can also buy our first 100 podcasts available at audiobooksontape.com, and £1 of each sale will go to the Diabetes UK charity. So that's amazing if you can support us in any way whatsoever. Let us know in any of the comments of what is your favourite X-Men game, what's your favourite X-Men movie, what is your favourite X-Men, any related goodness, because we at One Up Gaming love X-Men. I am going to quickly put up some pictures now of my X-Men stuff I've got. So I've got I think it's a Marvel Legends Gambit. I've got like a retro Iceman. I have I don't know what it's called. It was like a 2-pack collection for Magneto and Professor Xavier, and it had like the swappable heads. So one of them's like the Michael Fassbender, and one of them's Ian McKellen, and then the other one's Patrick Stewart, and the guy who played him in the young versions, which I can't remember. But yeah, I've also got some. Are the Pops? I can't. I've got them given. I don't care about any of these things. About the Pops, I think they were called Pops. I've got like a Wolverine, a Gambit, and an Iceman. And I've also got from Temu. I also have it's like a Lego Wolverine in like a big robot buster suit thing, which is pretty cool. So this is episode 391 of the One Up Gaming podcast with me, David. I'm going to quickly go into the next part of the show where we'll be talking about all the games. So please stick around, subscribe, like, bell, all that good stuff. Back in a few.
Hi, I'm Keith Allen, and I play Murphy on Z Nation, and I listen to One Up Gaming Podcast.
Hello, Andy. This is Colin. I won't be able to get in there. I'm sweating already.
So, still David, still One Up Gaming, still episode 391. This is the X-Men special. So, if you like X-Men, then you will hopefully enjoy this show. I've played a shit ton of X-Men games. The 10 minutes of nothing, I'm going to be talking about the X-Men 97 series coming soon. Or when this comes out. It might already be on. I can't remember when I've got the date. But anyway, 391. One Up Gaming. So we'll go through the games we played this week. So there's about 12 games this week, so please bear with us. So the first games, I'm not going to go in any kind of order, But the first games were on the Mega Drive, so on the Sega Genesis for other horrible people in America. You know, call it a Mega Drive. Why not call it a Mega Drive? It's great. And that was the X-Men game, and that's the side-scrolling 2D platformer. And I remember having the Mega Drive and having this game back when I was a kid. I guess it's about 30 years ago now, just about 30 years ago. And it was amazing then, and going back to it now, it's a bit janky, the platforming's a bit janky, but it still looks amazing. I love the graphics. I love the fact that you can be Gambit, and Gambit looks mint. And X-Men 2, the Clone War, well, not the Clone Wars, just Clone Wars, and again on the Mega Drive on the Genesis. And this one, I've never really played, because I don't think it actually officially came out in England. It came out in America, where it was like a Genesis sort of game in 96, I think it was, 95, 96. So like the Saturn was already out, and it was just not, it just didn't come out over here, I don't think. I might be wrong. It's weird though, because you turn the game on and it like boots straight into the platforming action. Then you complete the first sort of stage, and then it cuts into the Sega logo and then the start game and that kind of stuff. And it's good. It really is good. It's almost identical to how the original game plays. They've just got the graphics up the next level, and it just looks so nice. It's beautiful to look at. It's great to play. So the next games were on the PlayStation 2. And that was X-Men Legends and X-Men Legends 2 Rise of Apocalypse. So the first one was quite a, I don't want to say a budget game, but it was quite a low-key sort of release when it first came out. It looked nice when it first came out, but I just felt as though it was going for more of the Diablo style sort of game, not the top-down 3D RPG sort of thing. And I just felt as though using your powers drained your energy and all this kind of stuff. And it was just too much to take in for a feeble little brain like mine. And yeah, on the gameplay that I'm playing, I got stuck into a little corner and I couldn't get out, so I just turned it off. So the next game was X-Men Legends 2, where I don't know what happened at the end of the first game, or I don't know if it's a continuation to that, but it looks as though like the Magneto and his sort of like the evil mutants, I can't remember, Brotherhood of Mutants, I think are they called? I can't remember now. But them team up with the X-Men to free Charles Xavier, and then they join forces to defeat Apocalypse. And it seems a good story so far that I've played, but again, it's the exact same sort of engine, so it plays very similar. I did notice as well that on the PS2, with full 4 men in your party running around destroying things, the frame rate bloody chugs like hell. You can't believe how slow this game that pops into existence. But yeah, a good style of games. I think it works well with the multi-team sort of like emphasis of that, so that's good. Next up we have Spider-Man and the X-Men Arcade's Revenge. So this game, again, I had on the Mega Drive Genesis when I was a kid. I played the Super Nintendo version, the SNES, and I really liked this game. I loved it as a kid. I'm an idiot boy. I'm an absolute idiot. But I really, really, really enjoyed it when I was a kid. Going back to it now, graphically, it's got a good style. It looks weird. It's nowhere near as good as like the Mega Drive sort of games. The proper X-Men sort of games on the Mega Drive. But it has its own art style. It looks colourful and chunky. I just feel as though the web swinging's not very good for Spider-Man, and the jumping and the platforming is not the best. So for a platform game, from the early, well, was it 93, 92, that sort of time. I still enjoyed it. I really, really did enjoy it. I thought it was a fun little game. So yeah, it gets really bad reviews now. I think is it Flying Edge that did the game? I can't remember now. But it gets really bad press now. But I love it. I still love the game even now. First level, it's like you have to collect all the little shining pods, but they're in a certain order, and you have to backtrack all over looking for the correct order of the pods. But it's a way to lengthen the game, and when you get into the X-Men sort of stages, flipping hell, I nearly said fucking hell, but flipping hell, that is so hard. Everything just feels so against you to kill you. But I really love the game, so yeah, I think it's a fun little game. So next up we have X-Men, the official game. Now this came out for like PS2, GameCube, Xbox 360, I think it came out for as well. I've played it before on the 360. I've never played it on the PS2, but I had a quick go on the PS2. It's very similar sort of game. I actually really enjoyed the Iceman stages where you imagine like the Star Wing. Sorry, I'm English. For you American people, Lilac Wars or Star Fox, I think it was called. Where you're controlling like the Iceman character, and you can actually go up and down the screen like and shoot like a flying shooter, but you're on these little ice slide. And then you have the Wolverine stages where it's just like a hack and slash beat 'em up, and the Nightcrawler stages where it's a much more puzzle platformer style where you can like teleport and stuff. I thought it was a really good little game. I think that the just didn't have enough money into it, and I think that it was rushed at the end, and it just didn't feel fully fledged. But I did enjoy the game when I played it originally. So of course, next up we have X2, Wolverine's Revenge. Now this is like the sequel of the game, and I will say that it focuses just on Wolverine this time, which of course it does, because when the movies came out and stuff, everyone just went ape shit over Wolverine, and they just thought, well, we'll just slap Wolverine's face on everything, and we'll see how well things do about that. But yeah, it technically looks better. You know, graphically it looks more 3D, more like filled out and lush, but the controls just don't seem as good, and the camera options are a bit more janky. You know, you have full control over your camera on this one, and it just feels so janky. So then moving on, we have X-Men Reign of Apocalypse, and I believe, because I'm an idiot, I didn't write this down, I believe this one was on the Game Boy Advance. So imagine like the original X-Men arcade game. I don't know why I didn't play that, but the original X-Men arcade game, but like a little bit more graphically advanced. Imagine that sort of game, a 2D side-scrolling beat-em-up, and that is what you've got. It's a nice game. It plays well. It's just a bit slow, you know, but it's good. And we also have X-Men Mutant Apocalypse, and I believe this is the game on the Super Nintendo, on the SNES. And this one is more in style to the Genesis Mega Drive X-Men games, 2D side-scrolling puzzle platformers, but these ones were made by Capcom, and they are really nice. I've never played that one before, but I was really shocked at how good that was. It looks nice, it plays nice, but I think it's just I've got that love of the old X-Men game in my heart from the Mega Drive. So, but yeah, Capcom have done the X-Men proud on the console there. And then I had a quick go at some of the old sort of like shooters, some of the old 2D, 3D beat-em-ups. So first of all we have X-Men Children of the Atom. Couldn't get the Saturn to link up and play nice, so I played it on the PlayStation, where it's a lot more janky, a lot more stuttery, but it still plays really well and it looks nice. and as a 2D beat 'em up, I really loved it. It was just a little bit too fast and a little bit over the top when you're jumping around and stuff. Nothing like the Capcom vs Marvel vs Capcom and those sort of games, because they just go crazily fast. But yeah, Children of the Atom, really nice game. Then we played X-Men Mutant Academy 2 on the PlayStation 1. And this one is a one-on-one fighter with a polygonal sort of engine made by Paradox. I always used to joke and say that they look like a paradox. But Paradox Entertainment, I think it was Entertainment, I can't remember. They had a nice engine. But wasn't Paradox the ones who did that Thrill Kill that got banned, and then they reused the engine to make the Wu-Tang game that no one talks about? Might be wrong. Might not be Paradox. It might be a P game though. I can't remember. Anyway, X-Men Mutant Academy 2. It's got so many hidden secrets, so many hidden characters, loads of comic covers and pictures and sound effects and videos and clips and all sorts. It's just the gameplay is not the best and it's a bit janky. Graphically, for a PS1 game, it looks nice. It's just not the best. But yeah, X-Men Mutant Academy 2, if you have a PS1, give it a go. See what you think. It's not bad. And finally, we have X-Men Next Dimension, and we played this on the PS2, but I think it was out on like the Xbox and the GameCube as well. And this is again made by Paradox, so it's a continuation of the Mutant Academy 2. So I think this looked a lot better and it felt a bit more snappy in the gameplay department. So I think they were getting better as they were going along, and I think this was one of the last sort of like games in the franchise that they did. But yeah, so episode 391, the One Up Gaming Podcast, the X-Men special. I would say, in all honesty, my personal favourite game that we played this week, I would have to say, was the Mega Drive Genesis version of X-Men 2 Clone Wars. It played as well and looked amazing as of the original X-Men game, but because I've not played it before, it just had the wow factor of like something new, something amazing. So I will say X-Men 2 Clone Wars, great game. And the two runners-up is Spider-Man and the X-Men Arcade's Revenge. I love that game. I don't know why. And probably X-Men Mutant Apocalypse on the SNES. So if you want to get into some X-Men stuff, give these a quick go. See what you think. And we'll be back with the 10 minutes of nothing after this quick break. Please subscribe, like, share, bell, all that good stuff. And we'll be back in a minute.
Hi, I'm Lucy James, and I listen to the One Up Gaming Podcast.
Up next on the One Up Gaming Podcast is 10 minutes of nothing. Will it be the team talking about nothing or a guest interview? Stick around and find out now. It's 10 minutes of nothing. Yeah, 10 minutes of nothing.
So we're back. Still David, still One Up Gaming, still X-Men special on episode 391 of the One Up Gaming Podcast. So this is going to be the 10 minutes of nothing, where we will be going through the 10 minutes of nothing, where basically we just talk 10 minutes of crap. And so this is going to be me talking about the X-Men sort of 97, yeah, X-Men, the animated series, sort of like, yeah, I haven't really said this much, have I? But anyway, we're going to watch the trailer, and then we're also going to watch, we're just going to talk about it. So, without further ado, 10 minutes starts now, and so with the trailer, you have the Jean Grey and Scott Summers picture, the Colossus, like, little figure, the old retro TV with a really bad fake CRT filter on it, Morph, the final episode of the X-Men season 5, I think, where Professor Xavier gets taken away by Lalandra to the other place. Yeah, to be made better, I don't know. So there's was that the Warlocks, the Mallrats? I can't remember. Daily Bugle, more Marvel synergy there. It's looking as though Professor Xavier dies. I don't know. Different. More Sentinels. There's the statues of Professor Xavier and Magneto. So Storm's got the Mohican haircut. I do love that outfit that Wolverine wears. Gambit's my favourite character out of them. Hopefully they'll introduce Iceman back into it. But yeah, it looks as though, well, they've had 30 years to think about the actual, you know, like the actual how they're gonna carry on the story. But yeah, I love the music. X-Men 97. So this is like meant to look like really quite creepy with him saying all this. But I think in the comics he does actually take over his child's mansion at some point or another, which, you know, it kind of makes sense. So I mean, please send us feedback, send us comments. What do you guys think will be happening in the new series? Do you think it'll be a one season and done, or do you reckon they will try and get us 3, 4, 5 seasons out of this? Now, this is me being an idiot, because back in 92, what was that? So in 92, I'd have been 11. No, yeah. Yeah, I was born in 81. Yeah, I'd have been about 11, 12-ish, depending when it came out to the UK. And it must have hit me at the perfect time, because I remember that TV series so amazingly well. I loved Gambit. I've always loved Iceman, but that's mainly from I think it was the Spider-Man and His Amazing Friends sort of series. But I loved that as well. I mean, I will say one thing negative about the sort of show from the old 90s, and that was I loved it so much until it got into the space side of things, the Phoenix Saga, all that kind of stuff. I just feel as though it went a bit batshit crazy when they were then started to do the sort of thing. But I don't know. I guess it's one of those things where we won't really know what's going on until Marvel release the stuff and we know the writers, the story arcs, the how it all moves. But yeah, I loved Nightcrawler, but he wasn't a massive main part of the old series. I loved Iceman, but I think it was only 1, maybe 2 episodes. I think Spider-Man was in a couple of episodes. They had the X-Force, I think, was in it. And they also had, did they have the Excalibur, the British X-Men sort of team? Oh, God. Going back, I might actually have to watch all these old TV cartoons. And I'm like 40 odd years old, man. I'm too old for all this crap. But no, I do enjoy a bit of X-Men. I so wish that X-Men Destiny game that came out, I really wish that was more than it actually was, and it wasn't made on stolen Unreal Engine components that had to be taken down, and it was a mess, an absolute mess. But Yeah, I don't know. I just think that some of these things, I don't know, I feel as though that a lot of the Marvel things at the moment, I really think that a lot of negative press has been on a lot of the Marvel stuff when you think about it. The Wasp, Ant-Man and the Wasp Quantumania, that was probably the worst movie I've seen for years that's come from a big name studio. You know, that it was diabolical. It was an absolute disgrace of a movie. It really was. Now, say what you want to say about the Marvels, but I thought it was a fun, stupid comedy movie, and I really enjoyed just sitting watching. You know, not every movie has to be moving the whole narrative massively forward all the time, but I just felt as though it worked. It was nice. It was a good little movie. But it's one of those things where you just don't know what's going on. You don't know what's going on. I mean, like, what would your ideal developer, what would your game pitch be? Now, I think that Capcom did it amazingly well when they did the one-on-one fighting with X-Men Children of the Atom. Now, that was perfect. And then they carried on with the X-Men vs Street Fighter and the Marvel vs Street Fighter and all that kind of stuff. I felt it went a bit way over the top. But what are you gonna do? For the old 16-bit sort of generation of consoles, I enjoyed the 2D side-scrolling platform puzzle combat sort of games. I felt they were really nice. They looked gorgeous, played well. The side-scrolling beat 'em up works well because the X-Men do fight a lot of things. But in this day and age, I don't think you could make a full-fledged game like that unless it was in the God of War sort of mould. You know, Bayonetta, God of War, Devil May Cry. Go over the top with the Berserker modes. Go over the top with the special abilities. And just ramp up that graphics. Just ramp it up massively. I could still love to see like a Telltale style game. I mean, like, there was that Star Trek game that came out not long ago, like end of last year, which is like a kind of like a Telltale style game, and I don't believe it has named characters from the TV shows, and it is just focusing on its own narrative. And I do think that a game like the X-Men can do things like that, because you could have like different episodes focusing on different people and they all come together in the final episode, and something like that could work. But I don't know. I'm not a game developer. I'm not an ideas guy. I'm an idiot boy that loved watching the old cartoon series when I was a kid. I'm not sure about the new art style. I loved the Magneto's big M sort of like robe. I think that looked amazing. Oh God! Try not to yawn. Failed. But it's one of those things where I'm excited to see what Marvel and Disney do with the X-Men in their cinematic universe. I'm so excited for the actual Deadpool and Wolverine movie. I really think that they could mix and match and just bring loads of people. Hopefully they get Channing Tatum in to do like a Gambit cameo, because that movie should have been there. It should have been like done, but what can you do? What can you do? So I think that's been 10 minutes. We'll end it there. So it's been me, David, One Up Gaming, with episode 391 of the One Up Gaming podcast with our X-Men special. Please like, subscribe, share, bell, all that good stuff on our YouTube channel. And yeah, thank you so much.
Hi, my name is Justin. I'm the developer of PerRocket, an iOS space game with cats. And I listen to the One Up Gaming podcast. You can find a link to download my game at facebook.com/PerRocket.
So that's been episode 391 of the One Up Gaming podcast, the X-Men special. So thank you so much for watching. Thank you so much for listening. Please leave comments. What's your favourite X-Men game? What's your favourite X-Men movie? Did you love the TV series like me when you were growing up? Anything you'd like us to talk about? Anything you'd like us to do? Go to our website, oneupgaming.co.uk. God, I've got hiccups now. You can buy t-shirts, like, well, you can't really see it, but this like Ridge Racer t-shirt. You can buy t-shirts like that from our website and also from Etsy. So just go to Etsy and search One Up Gaming. And as always, please like, subscribe and share and ding that little bell icon. Yeah, it's been me, David, One Up Gaming, saying thank you so much for watching. We love all things X-Men. Hopefully you guys love all things X-Men. So thank you. Goodbye.